Welcome back to the Toppy Blues, your source for all things Everton. My name's Connor Williams, and we're back with another one of our 24/7 news report videos. As always, we start with the headline news, and the headline news this evening is that Everton are still interested in Villarreal forward Arnaud DANJUMA. The former Tottenham loanee is open to a move to Everton. That's come via the Liverpool Echo. Um, we ran a poll on the Toffee Blues saying, would you take Danjuma at Everton? Leave your thoughts. So far, 2,955 of you voted, and 62.6% said yeah, 14.2% said I don't know, and 23.2% said no. Firstly, it's very obvious he's open. He's basically twerking on Instagram for us. And on Twitter, he's liking tweets from a while ago about it's a grand old team to support. And I think that the Corey tweeted and commenting the emoji on Idrissa Gana Gay, I'm gonna say, his Instagram. So he's basically twerking. He's giving us a little twirl in the window and giving us a cheeky little wave. So yeah, I can imagine he does want to come. I don't think that from the Liverpool Echo is massively outrageous. As for the would you take him at Everton? I'm one of the ones who said I don't know. Listen, if we're just on about talent, 100%, he definitely walks into our team, especially with the rumours that Damari Gray is off to the Saudi leagues, which we'll get into a little bit later. I think he 100% walks into the team through talent alone. He's quick, can play wide, and a striker. He's got both good with both feet. The only reason I say I don't know is his attitude. And by that, I mean, this was a player that last season was nailed on, going to join us, and at the last minute, ditched us for Tottenham Hotspur, and what I presume was probably more money, because there's no way he was going to get more game time at Spurs than us. Looking at the squads, you just knew who was going to get more game time. Um, and it's just like that sort of attitude. If you didn't want to play last year for us, but that went badly, and now you do. That's if he actually comes through with this. If another team come in, and because of what happened previously, another team of Tottenham's level or above us, and I think he might, leave again. He might not come join us again. But it's that sort of attitude. Maybe I'm wrong. Like I said, his talent's there. There's no doubt about that. But we've had too many players and have too many players at that club where if it was just on talent alone, fantastic. But it's not. Attitude gets you, I would argue, further if you have the right attitude than talent alone. Because as talented as, and that's in wider life as well, as talented as you are, people will pick up on if you're not pulling the way you should be. And attitude and work rate make up for that. People, at least, especially at Everton, we've had some awful football players that have great attitude and work rate, and they are now really well liked. I'm going to say not revered because I don't think I think some of them fall into the meme category, aka Strakalasi, Velios, Umar Nias, but the point still stands that fans liked them because they worked hard, especially Umar Nias. He was a man who told he didn't have a locker, get out the club, worked hard. Fans towards the end have really, I don't hear many say horrible things about him. Because his attitude was there. I'm not saying he's a fantastic footballer, but his attitude and work rate was there. So that's the only question about Danjuma. I might be wrong. I'm sure he had his reasons for turning to Tottenham last season, and I know people will be in the comments going, "Leg it, lad." You can't hold grudge, and I'm not holding grudges. He definitely walks into our team. I'm just saying that's the only little doubt in the back of my mind about him, is the way he sort of left us at the altar last year. But alas, people change. He might have thought, he's been at Tottenham, not got in that side. He might have thought, should have joined Everton. He's got a second chance. So yeah, keep an eye on that one. We also have the Championship side, Southampton, have held talks with Everton over Mason Holgate. That's come from John Percy of the Telegraph. Yeah, interesting, Mason Holgate. Very, very interesting. Apparently, he's not with the lads in Switzerland. Somebody managed to work out the other day. when they're having these 10v10 games because of the lack of depth, supposedly, which is a bit worrying. But yeah, Holgate is supposedly not there. Probably still in England. Probably in case he needs to go and have a medical. That's me guessing. But yeah, listen, he could probably go somewhere, especially in the Championship, or a lower side, Premier League side, and be okay. I just think at Everton, he just hasn't, and I think sometimes you can be at a football club and it not go your way for too long, and that becomes the like a rut, and that becomes the trend. That doesn't mean you're a bad player. That just means you get stuck in a rut, and the only way you're going to get out the rut is get out the club. You see it at other clubs as well. It's not just Everton. Where I mean, David De Gea, I think he could go somewhere that's not United and be an okay goalkeeper. Well, not okay. At one point, people talking about him being the best in the world. I think he can get to that form again, or just under it, especially higher than now. Same with Harry Maguire. I think he could leave United and be better than he is now because they're not in the rut. Holgate is one of them. He suits some systems. He was all right in the back five system. Him and Michael Keane are the two that I think need to leave to get out the rut. So at least one of them, it looks like they're going to do that. We also have the Everton are close to completing a deal for Leeds United forward Wilfried Gnonto. The deal is worth 22 million euros. This came last night via Crisitello, who is the CEO of Sport Italia. Very odd that Sport Italia themselves didn't break it, but the CEO did. I've not heard of him before. I've heard of Sport Italia. Italian sources can be a little bit hit and miss. The fact that sort of the CEO said it might hold a bit of weight, but then we have conflicting reports as Mark Douglas of the I paper said Everton are interested in both Gnonto and Rodrigo from Leeds, with reports of a fee being agreed for Gnonto being inaccurate at this stage. So Mark Douglas is saying there's interest there, but the fact that a bid has been discussed is inaccurate right now. So who knows with Gnonto? I mean, if we could get both, I'd take both Rodrigo and him. If you made me have to pick, I think me, Steve and Matt on the channel the other day were on about Gnonto, and we said maybe you'd go for Rodrigo because he's cheaper. I mean, yeah, it's tough because Gnonto, the ceiling is way higher, but he has to obviously reach the ceiling. I like him though. I am hoping for Gnonto. Being a bit greedy, I'd like both. If Gnonto fulfills his potential, wow, what a player. So yeah, very interesting. But don't get excited yet because the reports of a bid and it almost sounding done are inaccurate. We also have from Mark Douglas that Ashley Young turned down interest from Saudi Arabia, Luton Town, and several Championship clubs to join Everton. I'm not surprised Saudi Arabia are after him. That's the type of place that attracts footballers that are well known, who are slightly past the Premier League prime, as we're seeing right now. Luton is an interesting one. I don't know what Luton's budget is, but they obviously are a little stadium, little club in terms of stature. Not stature, I'll have Luton fans coming for me now. In terms of like revenue, I don't think they're the highest revenue team in the Premier League. I'm feeling a bit like it's a bit Bournemouth vibes. Bournemouth are one of the smaller clubs because of the stadium. Not saying they are a small club before fans come at me. I'm just saying in terms of stadium capacity and potentially revenue they are. So, yeah, Luton interesting, and a couple of the Championship clubs. I think we might be the best offer that stays in the UK there. Everton will continue to scour the free agent market after signing Ashley Young. Other free agent signings will be considered. Again, that came from Mark Douglas. I have seen rumours at this time of year, you get the classic ones on about Ross Barkley and a couple of others. There are signings to be made in the free transfer market. We just got to make sure we pick the right ones. Mark Douglas as well, it's a proper set from him. It said that Damari Gray is in talks with Saudi Arabia side Al Hilal. Yeah, I believe people are saying that potentially 8 to 10 million for him. I don't know if that might go up. He's on form at the minute in the CONCACAF, is it, for Jamaica? So worth looking at there. But yeah, if we can get the more we can squeeze them for, the better. Um, but yeah, Damari Gray, obviously a goal scorer as well. Maybe that puts me more on. Just gotta hope DANJUMA is up for it and sign him because he would replace the goals we lose there. We also have from the Liverpool Echo that talks of Everton signing Tom Heaton are unlikely to advance. Eric Ten Hag is not willing to let him leave. That's a pretty straight away no then. João Virginia looks like he might be getting a couple of games next season. Everton are also in talks with Fenerbahce right back Ferdi Kadioglu. Negotiations are set to continue over the week. That's come from Turkish Football One. I've not heard of them before. Don't know how reliable they are, but take that with a little pinch of salt. We also had, which should have been pushed up higher, Alan Myers also commented on GNONTO and DANJUMA, saying nothing is imminent on either. The club is considering a number of options in the forward position. It's good to see that the club have got a number of options available and they're looking, not just two. We've seen this a lot of times where the club have just one, it goes wrong, and then they're, scampering around. It's good to have a couple of options open. And finally, we have that Reece Welsh is keen to depart Everton this summer on loan in search for first team football. That's come from the Liverpool Echo. Yeah, loan him out. He needs to get game time in a first team in a competitive level. Loan him out, get him some game time. If he progresses, fantastic. If he doesn't, the way the club hope, sell him on to whoever he goes out on loan for. Job done. That is all we've got time for, though. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and comment down below your thoughts on anything I've discussed. I look forward to reading it. I'll see you guys very soon.